Masculine led for it. Precious blood shed for it. Bathing it red. Here's to the white of it. Thrilled by the sight of it. Who knows the right of it, but feels the might of it through day and night. Womanhood's care for it. Made manhood dare for it. Purity's prayer for it. Keeps it so white. Here's to the blue of it. Beauteous view of it, heavenly hue of it, star-spangled dew of it, constant and true. Diadems gleam for it. State stands supreme for it. Liberties beam for it, bright as the blue. Here's to the whole of it. Stars, stripes, and pole of it, body and soul of it, oh, and the roll of it, sun shining through. Hearts in accord for it. Swear by the sword for it.
Okay, to tell my story, I want to explain to you about investment. I am a member of the Sacred Mountain Alumni, September 2019. In July 2019, I was at what I felt was the end of my career. I did not know it at the time, but I had reached burnout. I had all the symptoms. I was beginning my 20th year working in maximum security prisons throughout California. I had the nightmares, the fatigue, the anger. I couldn't self-diagnose myself. I had just become engaged to my amazing wife and imagined explaining to my fiance our life was about to drastically change, even as we had just begun to build it together. I reached out and explained all this to a friend, someone who has dedicated her life to helping veterans and first responders. She called me back the following day and explained that she was sponsoring me to attend Sacred Mountain. I was skeptical about the retreat, but I agreed to go. And let me tell you, the minute I stepped off the plane in Rapid City, it was life-changing. I was greeted by everyone's best friend, Joe Kern. And that everybody knows Joe, right? Yeah, that started my week. I met and interacted with veterans and first responders who were going through the same issues and concern as me. Burnout, PTSD, abuse, and guilt. I forgot how rehabilitating it was to get up early in the morning to a team workout, have breakfast and meals together, building a knife out of a rusted railroad spike, chopping firewood, and improving the resort for future alumni and Gold Star families. Now, I cannot give away all the secrets to how these hills healed me, but I know that Sacred Mountain invested in me, and I gained lifetime friends.
So many of you out there that know me, for all your thoughts and prayers, because that's exactly what got me through this. But I love the veterans. I don't know where Jared went, right there. But I have been blessed beyond measure in so many ways, not just beating cancer, but being involved with people like yourselves. I grew up in an Air Force home. My father was a full colonel in the Air Force. When he retired, he was a fighter pilot for 27 years. I thought that's what I would do when I was growing up, but got hurt, and they told me that I would never fly, so saluted out and said I'd go a different direction. But for the last decade, I've been able to give back. I believe so much in this organization that my wife Sharon and I, we decided this year that we would like to present to Sacred Mountain a donation to show just how much you guys mean to us. So, Jared, with no further ado.
The dog was his best friend and got him through every day. So I would like to ask John Levi to come up and receive the puppy this evening. So the next one, kind of a local guy, Spearfish, South Dakota. and I'm going to kill his last name again, and I went and asked him. Hatnode.
The dog has the same ailment in her right leg that I have in my right shoulder, and Tara told me the same thing. And I know how connected I am to this dog. And the reason I'm sharing this story with you is because I'm hoping that you'll help with the program for the dogs as well and understand the importance of these dogs. That dog saved my life, folks, and I'm not kidding you. And that dog is a part of my life, and I'll take a bullet for that dog. So I appreciate you letting me take this couple of extra minutes to share with you the importance of what this dog means to me and how important service dogs are to us veterans and us first responders. They are amazing. And I don't know what I'm going to do if I ever lose this dog. Brother, God bless you. And I know what pain you're feeling. So thank you again. I love you all. SMRC rocks. Thank you for the opportunity to let me spend this extra couple minutes with you. I love you all. Thank you.
Ajax's wife goes and finds his friends, and she comes out and she says, the fury is gone from him and his mind as well, but now he's got a new sickness in his soul. From his words and deep grief, it looks obvious to me that he's thinking of doing some great harm to himself. That's why I'm out here, my friends, to ask you to go inside and help him in any way you can. The words of friends can often cure a man in his condition. This is peer support in the 5th century BC. That's how long we've known this works. Now, I told you some of the science of what happens to our brains when trauma hits us, but I didn't tell you what we can do to fight back. Programs like what's being offered at Sacred Mountain help make connections between trauma and meaning. These connections can start recovery and eventually increase resilience. Trauma is a fickle opponent. What you're trying to suppress today can cause you to lose your job, your family, and your life. And that's why I'm up here, my friends, to ask you to help in any way you can. The words of friends can often cure our military and first responders. To those who work for Sacred Mountain Retreat Center, I'd like to thank you for the services you provide for people like me. For those of you who are up here supporting this event, donating your money and your time, you guys are saving lives. Thank you.
We came home, 591 of us. I came home and found that my wife had filed for divorce just 3 months before I came home. She was engaged to another guy. That happened to over half of the POWs coming home from Vietnam. And in a lot of ways, those poor ladies had it worse than we did. At least we knew we were alive. They didn't. Day by day, we were convinced that we were going to come home and be better off than ever before. And they didn't know if we come home even wanting to be married to them again. And so my wife went her direction and I went mine. We married a wonderful gal from Texas, and we have 4 kids and 4 grandkids, and live a very, very happy life. What's the message here? I hope and pray none of you will ever be prisoners of war, although there's not a veteran in this ballroom who has not thought what that might be like. And I can tell you this, just from a Midwest kid that grew up and had some problems. It's the baseline stuff, you know, it's your faith, it's your commitment, it's your dedication. It's the way you pack parachutes. And if you can do that, I'm convinced you can not only succeed, but even endure in any kind of a challenge you face. So, congrats to all the winners. I hope that you will continue to support this organization and the great job that they do. And I wish you the very best.